plates, grab your food, and come sit down and eat with me. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you can get future notifications every time the roommates drop a new video. Enjoy watching, y'all. Now let's eat. Hey roomies, how y'all doing? If you're new, welcome. If you've been here a while, you know it's time for that countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. That was delicious. Them scalloped potatoes, they're just the bomb the way Keisha made them. Let me tell you guys what I'm having today. I got sirloin steak with A1 sauce on top. I got scalloped potatoes with steamed vegetables and macaroni and cheese. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this sirloin steak. I haven't had sirloin steak in forever. Every time I eat a steak, it's like an explosion of flavor in my mouth. I love the way Keisha cooks. She always cooks to perfection. Like, I love how the steak is just so tender and juicy. It could not be cooked any better. It's just amazing. And this macaroni is just so cheesy and creamy. Look at that. Look how good that looks. And I love how these steamed vegetables came out. It's like the perfect blend of salt and pepper. Like, I love the way Keisha plates the food and has it looking so good. Because, like, when I try to do, like, videos on my channel, I can never get the presentation or the pictures looking as good as Keisha gets the pictures on the roommates. I'm not really good at taking pictures, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, a lot of times my pictures end up looking the same because, like, I don't know how to angle. I'm kind of like bad with angling the camera. Like, how many of you guys are like bad when it comes to taking pictures? Like you can't seem to get it the way you want it. But you're sitting there and you're thinking like, this is the best it's gonna be. I've always been kind of bad taking pictures though. Like it's like easier for me to take a picture of like a person standing up. Because like with a person, they're posing. And with a person, you gotta get everything in the picture. And with food, you gotta get like all close up. Then you gotta try doing different angles, like sideways, forward, this close, that far. So what are you guys doing today? How's the weather like over where you're at? Because in Chicago today, when I went out to take out the garbage, it felt like it was about 80 to 85 degrees out. But it's like definitely warm enough for people to go out taking their motorcycles out. In the city, that's like mostly what you hear, is motorcycles. Motorcycles just like rimming their engines. Like I really like when I'm out, I'll just be like looking at different cars. Because in the summertime, you see a lot of people's like sports cars out or sports bikes. Like when I look at a sports car, I look at like how clean it looks, how new it looks, and just the color. But I love it when I see a sports car and it happens to be my favorite color. Like if it's like that Granny Smith apple green, I'll just be like staring at like, wow. I'll be like, wow, I'll be thinking to myself, that is my dream car. Like I especially like the way them green Dodge looks. Like how they have like bright green. And then they'll have like the black stripes going down the back and down the front. Like I just think that's so pretty. So roomies, how many of you guys like have like sports cars or sports bikes? And you love riding around and showing it off, especially in the summertime when it's real hot out, or you got that real nice breeze. I've always wanted to learn how to like ride one of them 3-wheelers. Like they look really nice going down the street. And they look like they're easy to drive too. Like I would I'd be scared to ever ride on the motorcycle. Well, actually, I'm not scared to ride on the back of a motorcycle. I'd be more scared to like if I was actually driving it. Like I would feel more safer. I would feel more safer in a car than on a bike, because in a car you at least have got doors and windows. On a bike you fly off. You make one wrong mistake or a car hits you, you fly all the way up in the air and you could die. Well, the closest dangerous accident I came to when I was in a car before, and I was driving, was when my cousin was trying to teach me how to drive. At the time, I was like 17, and so we were driving from, and I had just got done with driving with the driving teacher. And so my cousin asked him, she's like, so how is she doing? Like with the driving. She's like, she needs more practice and she really needs to drive with a family member, because driving with me, it's not enough. And then she's like, all right, well I can take her out driving. And he's like, does your car have an emergency brakes on it by any chance? And then she's like, no, it doesn't. And I was just surprised. And like, why would you ask that question? What car has an emergency brakes besides the driver's ed car? To me, I just thought that was a really dumb question to ask. And I'm thinking, like, I am not that bad of a driver. Like my cousin, she got all paranoid because at first I was driving just fine. I drove from like driving from like Norwich all the way to Oak Brook, because that day she was taking me to get my hair highlighted at her salon, Mario Tricosi, when she worked there. And I felt so bad. Because it was a bad thing what happened by the time we got there. Like at first I was driving calmly, like I was driving good. We're on the expressway. I'm driving with the speed limit, staying in the lines. And at first she says to me, she's like, my husband, if he saw you driving, he'd probably tell you drive better than I do. And so I said to her, I'm like, well, I have to drive more careful than you because I'm a new driver. I'm like, I can't drive like I've been doing it for 10 years. People that have been driving for 10 years, they can drive reckless because they know how to control the car. So then she had me make this one turn. By the time we got off the expressway, I was on the side street. I had to make this one turn, and it was like heavy traffic. And I'm looking at how the arrows, how the green arrows, how you gotta look at the green arrows when it's time for your turn. And I was trying to follow the car in front of me. And she then got mad at me. Like I did something wrong. She was like, oh my God, Amber, you could have killed us. And I'm like, I thought that's how you're supposed to drive. I thought you're supposed to follow the car in front of you. Like if it's their turn and you're right behind them, I figured that's your turn also. I thought at the time I had the right of way. And then she's sitting there in the passenger seat, praying in Italian. She's sitting there praying in her Sicilian language. And I'm thinking like, really, cousin, it ain't that serious. It's not that serious. I think I'm doing good. For first time driving with a family member, I think I'm doing just fine on the road so far. And my cousin, she's a Sagittarius, and that zodiac, they can be a little over dramatic at times. So then we keep driving. I'm doing just fine. And then by the time we get to Mario Tricosi, we're over by the underground parking lot. And we're about to pull in, and she says to me, she's like, Amber, why don't you stop the car now and we switch seats? And I'm like, why? And she's like, have you learned how to park yet? And I'm like, no, but today could be good practice. And she's like, I don't know if it's such a good idea. Are you sure you're ready to park in the parking lot? And I said to her, I was like, I think I'm ready. I'm like, let me try. I mean, how hard can it be? And so she's like, all right, I'll let you park the car. So I do the opposite. We turn into the underground parking lot. We turn in the underground parking lot. And she tells me, she's like, okay, make a right turn right here in this parking lot, in this slot right here, go here. And to me, I was scared because it looked like a tight spot. I didn't think I was going to make it. I was worried I was going to hit the car next to it. So I'm like, I don't know if this is such a good spot. Why not turn over here? And so my dumb self ends up making a quick decision out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't think this is going to work. Why did we do this? I should listen to her. I turned where the square pole was, and I was like, oh my God. It was the only other parking spot. So my dumb self turns into over by where the pole is, and guess what happens? I then realized her brakes were loose. She had me using a used car. It was like 2001 Kia. And I didn't realize at the time how it felt like the brakes were loose. I'm thinking did she really let me drive a car where the brakes were effed up? Really? And so what happened was I did not hit the brakes in time, and I thought I had some time. And what happened was by the time I hit the brakes, I hit the freaking pole. I hit the freaking pole, and I was like, oh shoot. Oh my God, I'm in such trouble. Oh my God. I'm thinking, what? I'm like, she gonna kill me? I'm like, she's probably never gonna let me live this down. To me, it felt like the worst day of my life. I felt like I was 17, I was a new driver, but I felt like the worst person in the world. Like, even though it was an accident, I still felt like I was the worst person in the world, and I felt so bad. Like, I felt like this woman took time out of her day to try to teach me how to drive, and I go and make this stupid mistake. I was so mad at myself. So she just like freaking out. She's like, oh my god, my car! You just had to insist on parking. And I was like, I just wanted to see if I could park the car. I didn't mean to do this. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like saying I'm sorry like 10 times. Like all scared and all worried. She's like, you're sorry? You're sorry, really? And I'm like, yes, I didn't do this on purpose. It was an accident. And I'm like, no one's taught me how to drive except the driving teacher. And he has an emergency brakes. Your brakes are loose. I'm like, I didn't expect this to happen. I figured I had control of the car. And so we then go up in the building. She calls her mom, my aunt, and she then says like, she says to her aunt, crying in the tally, and like you're not gonna believe what Amber did. She totaled my car, and that was the car that she was gonna pass down to me once I got my license. Like it wasn't the car she was originally driving. She was gonna give it to me, and then get herself another car, because she already had that planned. But I guess because I totaled the car, she had to end up trading it in for something better anyway. But I mean, we go upstairs in the building, and she's just freaking out on the phone, crying about the car. And then she calls my other cousin who works at a body shop, asking him how much the car is going to be, like if there's anything he could do about it, if she could get a good deal or whatever. And she was just crying, telling the whole family. The only person that didn't know about it was my dad. She was trying to make sure nobody told my father about the time, because she didn't want him flipping out on me. But she goes and she tells my brother. Like, that would be any better. She didn't want to tell my dad, but she told my brother, because at the time my brother was like pretty much like the replacement of my mom after she passed away. So she calls him and tells him what's going on. And I'm sitting in the chair, about to get my hair done, and I'm just sitting there crying to the lady, just crying and telling her what happened. And she's like, don't worry, sweetie, it's not your fault. You're 17. This is going to happen at some point. She's like, accidents happen. It's just a car. The important thing is that you're okay. And then my cousin's 2 friends that were working there at the time, they came over to me to talk, because they knew I was crying about it, because I felt really bad. But at the same time, I wasn't the type of person where I'm going to cry in front of a family member. I'm more comfortable with crying to the lady that's doing my hair, because at least she's not going to make me feel bad about it. So my cousin's friend says to me, she's like, Amber, you gotta understand this. Your cousin doesn't have kids. She doesn't know what it's like to raise a teenager. I have a 17-year-old at home. She's like, I just got married to a guy that already had kids. So I know what it's like to raise kids and how to have to teach them how to drive. You gotta be very calm and patient. She's like, your cousin doesn't understand that yet. She's downstairs crying. I'm gonna go talk to her, and she's like, I'm gonna make her feel better. I'm gonna explain to her that, like, that was an accident. You didn't do it on purpose. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I was thinking out of like panic mode, because I'm thinking like, okay, I gotta make a fast decision. I've never did this before. I really want to impress my cousin and show her that I could drive, that I could set my mind to something. And anytime I'm trying to impress somebody, goes wrong. Something goes wrong. It's like it never fails. It's like anytime I'm thinking like I got to impress somebody, something bad always happens. Because in the sense of trying to impress my cousin at the time, I was in like complete nervousness, paranoia, thinking like, okay, am I ready? You just went over your head. Are you ready to do this? And I'm thinking like part of my brain is telling me like, you know you can't do this. And another part is like, you just told her you can do it. Now do it. So I don't want her thinking I'm second guessing myself. I wanted to seem like I was smart and confident to impress my cousin, because my whole family, they basically treat me different because in their mind they treat me like I got a learning disability. And every time I'm around my cousins, I always try to prove to them. I always feel like I got something to prove. Like I'm always trying to act smarter than I really am. And then in the sense of doing that, something always goes wrong. So, but in the end it worked out. She ended up, the car was not able to they couldn't really do anything about the car. At the time, like, her insurance was able to trade her in a better car. And she was happy with the new car. But then on the ride home, she decides to call my brother and tells him what happened. And he ends up flipping out. He tells her, he was like, oh my God, I'm going to kick your behind when I see you. I can't believe you had her behind the wheel. You know she's not ready. He's like, you know she's not all there upstairs. Why would you have her driving all that way and then have to think about parking the car? You know, by the time she gets all that way, she's already like tired from all that driving, and she's gonna be absent-minded. Why? You know this about her. Why would you have her park the car? You should have told her. You shouldn't have let her park the car. You should just told her, I'm driving. I'm parking the car. Like, now I'm driving, but I'm parking the car. You drove all this way. Now switch seats. And he said that, and she was like worried to drop me off at the house. And I said to her, I'm like, you know you shouldn't have called him, because now you're all scared to drop me off in the front of the house. He's not going to do anything to you. That man is just all talk. I'm like, he's mad. He'll be mad for about 10 minutes, and then he'll get over it 5 minutes later. I'm like, he is not the type to hit a woman. He's just the type where he's going to scream at you, and that's it. And then he'll get over it in a little bit. So then she's like, okay, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, if you're so worried, just drop me off on the freaking corner. So she drops me off on the corner thinking my brother was going to come out the house and beat her up for letting me total the car. Like, instead of him getting mad at me, he got mad at her because she was the adult, and she should have been, in a way, she should have been more responsible, not letting the teenager park the car who wasn't ready. So Roomies, I had so much fun eating and talking with you, but now I'm full. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you get future notifications every time the roommates drop a new video. Thank you all for watching. Peace out, y'all. We love you. Remember to live, love, and laugh. Bye, y'all.